What's up, everyone? Welcome to the HeartSpace podcast. So how we're going to be doing this is I'm going to be going really off the cuff so I can get into flow about some ideas that can hopefully benefit you, move you more into your heart, expand your awareness, and expand your consciousness. This channel is all about helping you guys to unchain your potential, to unleash your potential in every area of your life. And I want to make sure I'm presenting you and inviting you to try certain things that are going to help you do that. And so that's what this channel is all about. That's what this podcast is going to be all about. Bringing you these ideas, bringing you this awareness that you can then take into your life and then use to improve your life. And so let's go over potential in this podcast. We'll start there and then see where it goes, where we flow, see where the universe, so to speak, takes me with this. But that's essentially what we're going to cover today. Before we start, if you're not already, make sure you subscribe. We release videos every single day, sometimes a podcast, sometimes a video. I have so many projects on the way, including challenges like 7-day challenges, 30-day challenges. I'm currently on a cleanse right now, a health cleanse, nutritional cleanse. Not a cleanse from nutrition or from health. I'm on a cleanse from a company called Purium, and I'm creating a video to track my progress and document how it's going, if I recommend it for people, how I felt before and after. I'm going to make a really nice video around it. So you can expect stuff like that along with the daily videos that help expand your awareness, your consciousness, and help you learn new things that are just going to help expand you in your life. So make sure you're subscribed, you hit that bell icon, you turn on all notifications so you don't miss those videos when they come out and the daily videos that we are going to be doing. So let's get into this podcast. I'm very excited. I've been wanting to do some more of these on the channel. Also, let me know in the comments at any point if you want more of these podcasts. And so I want to talk about, again, tapping more into your potential. Unchaining your potential, I think, is a much sexier way of saying that. Unleashing your potential. Because the ultimate truth is so many of us, that we all have incredible potential. We all have the ability to do incredible things in our lives, to do incredible things with the time that we're given on this planet, to do incredible things in even a short amount of time. But if you look around the world, and I've mentioned this in a few videos, you'll notice that for the most part, the vast majority of people are living what would be considered a very average life. And this is all subjective. Success is in the eye of the beholder. It's a subjective topic. Success for me may be different. Oops, some music just came on. Let me turn that off. Success for me might be different than what success for you is. But I think we can all agree that success for most people will be defined as something that fulfills them. Success is something for most people that will be defined living life on their own terms. And if we look at it from that definition, which I think we can agree most people, when you get at the core of the issue, when you really deep dive and look at what most people want in life, most people would see success in their lives as being fulfilled, as doing the things that they want to do, as living their life in a free and authentic way. And when you take a look at that definition of what success is, you can see that most people are just not doing that. The vast majority of people. Now, for some people, it's much more difficult depending on circumstances, but a lot of people allow their circumstances that can change to pull them down and keep them on a certain level to where they never achieve their dreams, they never achieve their visions, they never live a fulfilling life. And honestly, I'm here to tell you, having success, living a life of your dreams, moving in a direction that will fulfill you and make you happy is not as difficult as you believe. It's difficult in the sense that you have to show up every single day and do certain things, yes, but it's not like extra strenuous to the point where only a few people can do it. Every single person can do this. Every single person can unchain their potential. We are all the same. That is something to understand. There is no one made better than another. We all have the same amount of potential. We all have the capacity to tap into our inner genius. Everyone at their core is a genius at something in some area. Every single person has the ability to tap into that. But just some people are further away than others because they haven't even been made aware of that. For example, someone who's incredibly negative, incredibly down on themselves. Maybe they believe that some people just are born lucky and some people are not. That person is nowhere near tapping into their inner genius because they don't even see, they think that only certain people can even be geniuses. Only certain people can tap into their potential. Only certain people can get to a certain level. And because of that, they disqualify themselves immediately, meaning they will never even get close. And this is the plight of most people. Even in a society where we have everything that we need, we have plenty of food to eat, we have shelter, we have clean water, we have the sunlight, we have all of these things. Even where I'm from, I'm from a more like middle class, different ranges of middle class, even there people just believe that things are a certain way and they cannot change. Even when they have so much and so many tools available to them, they're not in survival mode. They are in survival mode, but they don't need to be, because some people are genuinely in survival mode, right? Like if you're in a poor place where people die all the time from disease and because you can't get clean water, then you're in survival mode out of necessity because you are surviving. But a lot of people, especially in kind of the realm I'm from, are not in that situation at all, right? They're not just surviving. They're in situations where they have food, they have, all their basic needs and way more, and yet they still see the world in this way of just helplessness to where they can't change, they can't achieve the things they want. It's just for the other person. And the only reason they're not achieving those things, the only reason they're not unchaining their potential has nothing to do with the lack of resources or their circumstance. It's because they're not putting in the actions they need to be putting in every single day to tap into their potential. And so in this video, I want to give you some things I've been learning and I've been doing for a while, and also just recently learned some new stuff because I attended an event, a 3-day immersive event, which was all about this kind of stuff. And I learned so much that I'm already applying into my life. And I'm going to give you some of that stuff today. I'm going to give you some of the success habits, the success ideas, fulfillment ideas that you can then apply in your own life. But just understand, and this is something that was repeated time and time again through this seminar, which was run by an incredible person, one of the most successful people I know in terms of he's living a life that he wants to live on his terms every moment. And his name is Peter Sage. I'm going to give you some of the steps that you can then apply. But what I'm saying is one of the most important things that he repeated over and over again is that having knowledge and knowing and not taking action is as good as not knowing. I don't care how much you know. In fact, I'm not really attached to anything you do with this information, by the way. Yes, I want you to be successful. Yes, I want you to tap into your potential as much as you humanly can. But I've detached myself from the outcome because I know the people who are ready to hear this and ready to apply this, they will come and they will apply it. The ones that are not, they won't. And I know that I can't do anything to force anyone to do anything, nor should I even want to do that. It is up to you to make the changes in your life that you want. And again, this is why most people never change, because they want someone else to change their lives for them. They want their external environment to just change, and then they will change themselves. That's the deal they seem to make with the universe. An expression I really like, or an analogy I really like, is it's like going up to a wooden stove and telling it, hey, if you start a fire, if you start burning, if you start, the flames, I'll then go out and get the logs and put them in there. And that's not how it works. You have to take the initiative and start the process. The universe reflects back to you after you've sent out the energy, meaning after you've put the logs in the wooden stove, then the fire can burn. Not before that. It doesn't work that way. You have to take that first step. And the problem is most people don't want to do that. They would rather just passively live, or they would rather someone else do it for them, or handhold, or whatever it is. And there's nothing wrong with getting help, by the way, but take your own life into your own take responsibility for your own life. Just making that one commitment is going to change things for you. And so that's the first thing, is just having awareness that what happens and what doesn't happen to you, for the most part, is 100% within your control, or at least a big chunk of it. It's not because this one person did blah, 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 or this crazy event happened. You are attracting everything that happens to you. And if you've been watching some of the videos on this channel, you will have learned that. You'll be now more aware of universal laws. Look at my Law of Attraction Basics video, which I think is the video before this podcast, and you'll start to understand that pretty much everything in your life comes about based on the energy that you transmit. And then you receive that same energy back, and that same energy can be received back in the form of different thoughts you have, different ideas that come to you, but it can also be transmitted back to you in the form of different people that come into your life, in the form of different events and circumstances that come into your life. And so if you have an incredibly negative outlook and you are releasing negative energy into the universe from yourself, you are going to receive that energy back. The universe is like a mirror. It will reflect back to you what you give it. And that's why if you ever see someone who is truly, genuinely, incredibly positive, happy, joyous, grateful, they contribute, they're growth-centric. If you see someone like that, have you noticed that their life just seems to get better and better, or their life is just incredible? And yet most people just say, it's because they're lucky, it's because of X, Y, and Z, excuse. But in reality, all that's happening is they have changed their internal state, their internal energy. They have released that to the universe through their thoughts, through their words, through their actions, which all hold energy, and then they are getting those equivalent, the equivalent manifestation of that back to them. That's all that's happening. It's really that simple. That's all that's happening. For the most part, that's all that's happening. You are just getting reflected back to you the energy that you are letting off. And just notice how I said energy. I didn't say what you're saying. I didn't say necessarily what you're thinking. I'm talking about energy. The energy attached to what you're thinking. The energy attached to what you're saying, the energy attached to what you're doing, because you could, for example, do something that looks incredibly charitable, yet come from the energy of just doing it to put up a persona or put up a front, or it's completely fake. Now, you might be able to trick some people through doing that, but guess what you can't trick? You can't trick the universe because it works in energy. And so if you're not doing things genuinely, the universe will know, and it will reflect back at the actual energy you are giving it. So if you're perhaps maybe doing a lot of you think nice things, but you're doing it with conditions, you're doing it, to get something, you're doing it because you want to appear another way, you're not just doing it because of the genuine love in your heart, the universe will know that. So that first and foremost, the energy is what's going to help attract the success you want in your life. That means you have to be thinking and feeling while you think what it is you want. Do you want to think and feel more from a place of love, or do you want to think and feel from more of a place of hate and envy and jealousy? And again, if you think more from a place of envy, jealousy, and all of those, you will receive those back. You will receive more jealous people into your life. Have you noticed that, again, birds of a feather flock together? Have you noticed that a lot of negative people tend to hang around each other? I used to work in retail, and it's not a great environment. There were some people I worked with who were fine and were actually really nice, but for the majority of it, a lot of people that work in those jobs that I experienced while I was there are incredibly negative, and it brought me down too, and I wasn't exactly in a good place as well, which is why I was there as well. But I could never kind of mingle with those people or get into that because they all flocked together. They were all incredibly negative to the point of, these people were mean. They were, always trying to drag people down. They were critical, ultra critical of other people, always judging other people. And they were just, they were jealous, they were envious, all of these different emotions that are on the lower end of the consciousness scale, they were that. And guess what? Birds of a feather flock together. We all relate on the energy that we're on. So that's why also when you see someone who's incredibly positive, grateful, whatever it is, someone who's living a life of their dreams, they tend to attract into their sphere other people like that. When Peter Sage was doing the event, he was talking about some of the friends he had because he was giving examples of what they're doing and giving examples of like some of the things they've said. Like he put up a video of another guy I know called Jesse Elder. And this guy's another incredible guy who's living a fulfilled life on his terms. And it didn't surprise me when Peter Sage said, this is my good friend Jesse Elder. And I'm like, yep, birds of a feather flock together. Two incredibly successful, incredibly contributive people who are living lives on their terms, completely fulfilled, moving through life in a growth-centric way, helping others grow by the thousands, perhaps even millions. It's no surprise to me that they are friends. It's no surprise to me that they are close. And I guarantee every friend or every person that Peter Sage or someone of that ilk lets into their realm is at a similar frequency, similar energy, similar vibration. So the level of vibration you're at, the level of energy you're at, and you're giving out most consistently. And again, this will take some work if you're not used to this. This will take some meditating. This will take, really trying to feel things out until you can get to a point. I'm still working at this. I'm in no way perfect at this. I'm trying to raise my consciousness. I'm trying to raise my energy levels all the time. But the thing that's different between me and most people, and this is not to come from like a superiority place or anything. No, we're all the same. Understand, you don't go on this journey to be better than anyone, because you're not. You never will be. You're always the same. Everyone is equal at the core. You can be better at something than someone. That's a skill-based thing. But at your core, we are all co-creative, divine, infinite beings. So this is not a statement of superiority. But what separates what I'm doing from a lot of people, a lot of people want to change, but I've committed to it. Right? I've signed up for a mastermind with Peter Sage for the next 6 months in order to grow myself from someone who's been there, done that. I'm making my circle of people who are raising their consciousness, who are doing the things that I want to do more of, who are contributing, who are growing. And through that, their energy can help elevate my energy as I'm continually trying to elevate mine. Every single day I'm starting to get up at 5 a.m. and I'm doing certain things like meditating. I'm doing certain things like connecting to the universe, doing different practices, gratitude practices, things of that nature every single day. And at night, I do the same thing. Remember this and remember it well. The universe flows consistently. One of the most common things I see when people are trying to get into this, and they usually, they try it for a little bit and then just go, oh, it's woo-woo, law of attraction, what is that? That's not a real thing. I tried it and I was like, oh, I'm so wealthy, but no more money came in. In fact, I lost money. The reason for that is because the universe flows consistently. It works consistently. Most people think they're changing, but change is a process that takes a bit of time. It takes some ups and downs, and most people will try things like this for a week or two. And what's really going on is they'll do affirmations or something for like 10 minutes a day, and then nothing will happen, and they'll be like, God, this doesn't work. This is bullshit, or whatever. And it's like, well, maybe for 10 minutes of the day you were doing affirmations, but what were you doing for 23 hours and 50 minutes of the rest of the day? Guess what? They were running their old usual patterns of negativity, and so the universe is picking up on that energy and then goes, okay, I flow consistently, so the majority of the time you're still in a negative space, so you're still going to be reflected back to, or have reflected back to you, negativity to those things you're getting. This is a process, especially if you've already been conditioned to think in a very negative, disempowering way. This is not an overnight switch. This is something you have to consciously work on. I still don't know where I am in the tipping balance. I'm probably at around 50-50, and it took me a long way just to get to there because of all my negative conditioning of the past. So now I'm hopefully, going further and further with these practices, and I can feel that I am. But understand, this is a process, but this is a process you 100% want to commit to, because what's the alternative? Just living a life of demoralization and being demotivated and not living the life that you want? This might take you a year. This might take you longer. This is something you have to make a lifestyle. Because guess what? If you're a very negative person right now, or you know someone who's very negative, they've created a lifestyle around being negative. They have literally attracted those kind of things into their reality. But that being said, the good news is, because they did that through being negative, you can flip that and come more from love, come more from positivity, come more from forgiveness, come more from joy, come more from contribution. And if you stay in that long enough, you stay in the room long enough, you keep showing up every day and you do your best to stay in that, one, it's going to get easier, and you'll notice it's easier now to move from love. It's easier to move from contribution. It's easier to give value and understanding that that is a reciprocity type process. It's now easier for you to come from gratitude. And you'll notice then that your external reality starts to reflect that of love and gratitude. You will start getting the things that are on that level. So now suddenly you'll have people in your life who are also on that frequency, who appreciate you, who love you, who are also can relate to you on this level, doing the same things. You will notice that more wealth, health, and all these other things that come with love come into your life. But you have to be at that level, and you have to do it consistently. Everything in the universe flows, for the most part, through consistency. And that means, for a lot of people, I think this is their block. They say, I tried this and it's not working. There's two things that's wrong there. They don't have faith that it's going to work. So from the offset, it's never going to work, because you need to buy in and have full commitment. If you're 99% sure, but 1% unsure, you might as well be 0% sure, because you need to fully have faith in the process, or the universe will not reward you. It's just that simple. If you have those doubts because your ego's coming in with those doubts, that is going to set you back. And again, that's something that you have to work on. It can be a hard process, especially if you have a very fine-tuned ego, which a lot of people do, because that's how most of us operate in the world. We operate from ego. But as you learn to differentiate between the voice that is the inner version of you, or your inner self, versus the ego, then you can start to separate the two and be like, okay, this is my ego. I'm not going to give into that. And you can observe the ego as something separate, because you're not your ego, instead of attaching yourself to the ego. And that's how the ego wins the game. It attaches you, making you think that you are it. Because if you are it, you don't want it to go away, because that would mean the death of you. If you think you're the ego, and then someone's like, you need to remove the ego, that's incredibly scary, because you think that's you. You're like, I have to remove myself, but that's just me. That's who I am. I don't want to die. I don't want this to happen. And the ego, it does a really good job of attaching you so that you don't want to remove yourself from it, so that you don't want to observe it as something separate. But it is separate. What you truly are is a co-creative divine infinite being. You are pure consciousness. We all are. That's all there really is. And then from the unmanifest, from pure consciousness, comes what we have in the world now, comes the manifested. So that's a totally different topic, but we'll stay on track here. Let me just see how we're doing on time so I can give you some more stuff. Oh, wow, we're blowing through this. Anyway, so that's just some ideas first on how you can start to change your reality, some success things to do. And again, just remembering that the universe flows consistently, and be honest with yourself. What are you consistently doing? Are you consistently doing things that are in your heart, that you're passionate about truly? And I don't mean passionate from an intellectual place where you're like, I should be passionate about this because my job is this, blah, 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 blah. No, I'm talking about being passionate and excited from your heart, from your soul. You just feel, you get emotionally excited when you think of it, when you are doing something. How often are you doing those things each day? How often are you doing things like reading up on materials that can actually help you, watching podcasts and videos like this? How much of your day are you doing that, and then taking the actions that are given to you in material like this? How often are you watching positive things on YouTube versus mindless things on YouTube that are just dragging you more into the reality of unfulfillment? Please fill this hole of mine because I feel unfulfilled. I need to fill it with entertainment and TV and Netflix and junk food and whatever else. How often are you doing that? Because if you're doing that consistently for the majority of each day, that's what you're going to have reflected back. That's how it works. It's consistency. However, if for the majority of your day you're reading materials that help move you closer to your heart, help move you closer to what you truly are, if you are consuming content, so stuff like this, that is making you more aware of this stuff, it's also moving you closer to your heart. If you're watching the daily videos in HeartSpace, one great thing you can do is again, subscribe and bookmark this page, bell icon, use the bell icon, and watch the videos we produce every single day, because the intention of these videos is to get you more in that energy, get you more in your heart. And now suddenly, every single day, you're watching these HeartSpace videos and you're getting more into that place. You're asking the right questions. You're moving more into your true self. So that's one thing you can do. But it's not going to be just doing that. You didn't have to apply what I'm going over in the videos. So let's say I talk about the law of attraction, then audit yourself, take inventory and be like, okay, what am I attracting? And be honest about it, because once you know where you are, then you can determine where you're going to go. Then you can have a vision. But the first step towards success is first understanding and being very honest with where you are. So for example, if you're very negative, be honest. It's not a bad thing. There's no good or bad at this. There's no right or wrong way to live. Everyone gets to choose the way in which they live, and it's perfect either way. But if you want to live in a different way, if you want to be more happy, fulfilled, abundant, all of these things, then you need to look at what it is that allows you to do that. What allows you to do that? And that's what it's going to do. That's what this is going to do. Just taking inventory and being like, okay, I'm a pretty negative person right now. I have pretty negative thoughts, a lot of fear thoughts going on, not much thoughts of love going on throughout the day. So how do I change that? And little by little, each day you try and change that. Again, one great way is just hitting that bell icon and subscribe button here and watching these videos every single day they come out. And then it'll be 10, 15 more minutes each day where you're getting more into your heart. And then that will cascade into something else. Maybe I'll tell you in a video, okay, I'm going to give you a meditation to do. Okay, there's something else you can do to get more in your heart. Maybe after you do that, you get inspired and you get excited about something. You want to go do something or create something. You want to go maybe work out. You maybe want to go create a video. Maybe you want to go work on that project you kept putting off. And then you just keep following that feeling. And the longer each day you can stay within that feeling, the longer each day you can do activities that are moving you from that place that makes you just feel so incredible, that place that unexplainably just feels right to you. The more you can stay in that each and every single day, the more you will attract amazing things that you actually want into your life. Again, this sounds so simple when I'm talking about it, but it's so true. And what usually happens and causes us to go back to our old paradigm is our addictions. For example, if you've ever tried to get extremely healthy, and I'm doing this right now because I'm on a cleanse, and I was already pretty healthy, yet even for me, I had an addiction to food. So on this cleanse, it's been really difficult, and I'm starting to become more aware, and again, I'm being honest with myself and going, wow, I really was addicted to food. I still am. And I had to be honest. Because I'm seeing now, as I go through this cleanse, I'm on day 17, I believe, I'm seeing how much I just want to eat the food. When my girlfriend, when Lily has some food that just smells so good, she bought, I think, like KFC or some fast food the other day, and I was like, oh my God, it smells so good, I want it so bad, right? And that's not me talking, those are my addictions talking, right? Because my body doesn't need that. My body right now is getting everything it needs, nutritionally. That's a part of the cleanse. But my body doesn't need that, but it's craving that. It's like going nuts. It's like, I need it, I need it, I need it. And the problem is most people think this is them, and then they go right back into their addictions. Like, I need to watch my Netflix show. I need to drink the beer. I need to smoke the cigarette. Whatever it is, right? And that's why change is very hard, and that's why you have to make a commitment. You have to have a vision for this, or else you will quit along the way. But if you make that commitment, you have that vision of turning up every single day, even if you have one day that's really good and one day that's really bad, it's fine. You don't give up, you keep going, and you will get better at this. You will raise your consciousness. You will bring more of the stuff you want into your life. You will now be able to contribute and grow. You see, the thing is also, if you're someone who envisions yourself being able to help people, if you envision yourself being able to contribute to the world in a positive way, be a positive force and influence for good, you first have to take care of yourself, because you cannot fill someone else's cup up if you're running with an empty cup. Most people try and go and fix other people's problems when they have so many themselves. And this doesn't mean you will, when you are contributing, you won't have problems, you will. But it would be very hard for me to contribute if I wasn't filling my own cup up every single day by meditating, by getting into my heart. If I'm in a very negative spiral place that's in a much more survival-based mode, it's incredibly difficult for me to help people. And in fact, if I'm in that mode, I probably shouldn't be helping people, because I'm only going to be helping them from that level. So understand, it's not selfish to be doing this. It's not selfish to fill your own cup up first. In fact, true help usually only comes from someone who has filled their own cup up first. There's abundance for everyone, enough for everyone, and they understand that. And then through filling their own cup, through getting their shit together, through starting to live more the life they want, they are then able to help tons of people. All right, so this has been going on for a little bit. This is pretty good stuff, guys. So hopefully you're absorbing all of this. You're starting to get an idea of how you can make changes. Again, this is a big shift you can make if you really start to understand what I'm talking about here. I mean, it's pretty simple to understand. But the question is, are you open to it? Are you open to actually being able to commit to this and change your life? And so if you are, and you've stayed on this long, I want to hear it in the comments. Solidify this, confirm this in the comments. Again, we do this because it makes it more likely that you'll now do it. When you write it down and you actually express it in the comments, it makes it more likely that this will happen, that you will stick with it, that it will be committed to memory. So in the comments, just say, I am committed to changing my life. I am committed to moving more from my heart, moving more into my heart. Something along those lines. You can freestyle here, but I want some kind of commitment from you in those comments, because if you don't, then this is just kind of some wishy-washy thing you're going to do. You'd be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. Stop giving things a shot and just commit to doing something if it feels right to you. And if you do that, instead of going like, give it a try, give it a shot, then you will have much more results. It's like going to the gym or saying you want to be healthy. You're like, yeah, okay, I'll give it a shot. Do you think that person's in the gym next week? Hell no. The person who goes, you know what? Damn, my life is just, my health is just all screwed up. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I just want to be healthy. I want to be fit. I want to be ripped. I want to be strong. It's like, I commit to going to the gym. I'm going to go X, Y, and Z days. I'm going to do this. I'm going to eat this. I'm going to make a plan. You see how that has so much more energy, and there's way more chance of that person actually following through on what they want to do, because now they're committed. Now they're locked in. And now it's just way more likely that they're going to follow through. So make sure you're doing that with this. One thing I'll leave you with, guys, again, I did a video on this, but just in case you didn't see it, although I would go back and watch this video, maybe I'll link it down below as well, is an idea I got from this event as well. And again, this idea is so simple, so elegant, but so impactful. It's a philosophy and mindset shift that, when applied, will blow you away on how effective it is. And it's this: the way you do anything is the way you do everything. I'll say it again. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. And again, this is an idea that correlates with what I'm talking about here, in the sense that the universe flows consistently. So if you're doing affirmations like once a day for 10 minutes, and you're actually able to come from love in those 10 minutes, but the rest of the day you're coming from hate and you're going back into your old patterns, well, how you do anything is how you do everything. But if you are to do anything, so you're doing the next thing you're doing and you're doing it from love, and then you go to the next thing and you're doing it from love, you're now getting into the habit of doing anything from love, which means everything you start to do will be from that place, and you will then receive that back. And remembering this mantra will help you in times when you're feeling lazy. It'll help you in times when you're not being true to yourself. It'll help you in times when you want to do something, but there's something holding you back, or there's a difficult moment. Like for me, it's helping me get through this cleanse, because I can tell you guys, I've been fantasizing about having a pizza for like the last couple of weeks on this cleanse. And I keep thinking about it less and less now, because the addictions are going away. But this idea, I'm actually salivating now as I'm thinking about it. But this idea is helping me get through this, because I go, you know what? How I do anything is how I do everything. I am not going to cheat while I'm on this cleanse, because if I cheat on this cleanse, that's how I'm going to do everything else. And I can actually tell you, this mindset has helped me get through some tough stuff. I was doing a meditation the other day where I was having a difficult time. It was a guided meditation, and it was one that brought a lot of stuff to the surface, a lot of painful thoughts, a lot of painful, past memories. And my ego, because my ego is trying to protect me from any kind of pain, which is not a good thing, because I need to feel it, but it's trying to protect me, and it goes, you know what, you've done enough. Let's just stop the meditation here. Let's just stop it early. You've done enough. You know what, you've gotten in, good job, you got your meditation in for today. We can knock it off our list, we can cross it out, it's good enough. Let's just go, let's get out of this pain. But then I remembered, no, how I do anything is how I do everything. How I do anything is how I do everything. And I knew if I quit in that moment, I knew if I allowed my ego to win, if I allowed the things that I needed to feel to scare me away, I would just be doing that in more and more things. How many more things would I quit after that? How many more things would I go like, it's okay just to do the bare minimum? Right? So how you do anything is how you do everything. Really tattoo that on the inside of your brain, right? Onto your brain, because that is such an important thing to remember. And it's the last thing I'm going to leave you with for this podcast. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want me to continue making these podcasts. I do enjoy making them because they allow me to get into flow. They allow me to produce more repetition on these ideas, solidifies them more into me. And again, just a takeaway, guys, is start filling your world with the energy you want to be around. That's what you watch, the people you hang out with. Again, I really recommend, and of course it helps me too, it's a win-win situation, but I recommend you come back every single day and watch the videos that we produce. We do them every single day at 7 p.m. my time, which is Thailand right now, so I think right now that's 7 a.m. In the East Coast in America. I mean, and what a great way to start your day with something that's going to be positive, help you move more into your heart, all of this different stuff. And again, these habits will start to build, and you will notice you're coming more from that energy. Anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. I wish the best for you. If you apply these things over a sustained period, they will absolutely transform your life. And if you don't believe me, go find out. Be curious enough to go find out. Anyway, again, leave some comments down there below if you like this, other things you want to see. Make sure you put that commitment down there. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Make sure you come back for tomorrow's video, which is going to be a really good one. It's already ready. It's already scheduled. And I'll see you in that video.